Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's greatest commanders and warriors, exploring the strategic mind and moral character that shaped their decisions on the battlefield. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the fascinating life of Gustavus Adolphus, the legendary Swedish king and military leader who left an indelible mark on European history. As we embark on this journey through the life of Gustavus Adolphus, let me briefly introduce you to this remarkable individual. Born on December 9, 1594, in Stockholm, Sweden, Gustavus Adolphus would go on to become one of the most brilliant and innovative military minds of his time, earning the nickname the Lion of the North. His campaigns and victories would reshape the map of Europe, and his legacy would inspire generations of military leaders to come. Gustavus was born to King Charles IX of Sweden and his wife, Queen Christina of Holstein-Gottorp. The young prince's birth took place in the royal palace of Stockholm, situated on the picturesque island of Stockholm, surrounded by the sparkling waters of Lake Mälaren. Gustavus Adolphus's childhood was marked by a complex interplay of family, education, and historical context. His father, King Charles IX, was a skilled military leader who had fought against the Poles and the Russians, but he was also known for his hot temper and impulsive decisions, which often put Sweden at risk. Gustavus's mother, Queen Christina, was a more stabilizing influence, providing a sense of calm and diplomacy in the royal court. The young prince's education was overseen by some of the most prominent scholars of the time, including Johann Skytte, who would later become one of Gustavus's closest advisors. Gustavus was an avid learner, displaying a keen interest in mathematics, history, and languages. He spent countless hours studying the works of ancient Greek and Roman authors, as well as the latest treatises on military strategy and tactics. In 1605, when Gustavus was just 11 years old, he was appointed as the Duke of Södermanland, a province in southern Sweden. This appointment marked the beginning of his formal involvement in Swedish politics and military affairs. Over the next few years, Gustavus would accompany his father on military campaigns, learning the intricacies of warfare and statecraft. One of the most significant events of Gustavus's early life was the Kalmar War between Sweden and Denmark, Norway, which began in 1611. Although the war ended with a defeat for Sweden, it provided Gustavus with valuable experience and insight into the realities of warfare. The young prince was deeply affected by the conflict and would later use these lessons to inform his own military strategies. In 1611, Gustavus Adolphus's father, King Charles IX, died, and the 17-year-old prince ascended to the throne as King Gustav II Adolf. The new king faced numerous challenges, including a bankrupt treasury, a depleted military, and the ongoing war with Poland. Despite these obstacles, Gustavus Adolphus demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination, setting the stage for his future successes. As we explore the early life of Gustavus Adolphus, it becomes clear that he was shaped by a complex interplay of family, education, and historical context. The experiences and influences of his formative years would foreshadow his later achievements as a military leader as he adapted to the complexities of warfare and diplomacy. As king, Gustavus Adolphus faced numerous challenges, including ongoing conflicts with Poland, Russia, and Denmark, Norway. However, it was during the 30 Years' War that Gustavus Adolphus truly showcased his military genius. In 1630, Gustavus Adolphus landed in Germany with a small army of approximately 13,000 soldiers, determined to support the Protestant cause against the Catholic forces of the Holy Roman Empire. Over the next few years, he would achieve a series of stunning victories, using innovative tactics such as rapid mobilization, clever use of terrain, and integrated combined arms teams. One of Gustavus Adolphus's most significant achievements was his introduction of the Swedish brigade system, where infantry, cavalry, and artillery units were combined to create highly flexible and effective fighting forces. This approach allowed him to adapt quickly to changing circumstances on the battlefield and exploit weaknesses in his enemy's defenses. Gustavus Adolphus's military campaigns were also characterized by their speed and mobility. He recognized that the key to success lay not just in winning individual battles, but in rapidly moving his armies across vast distances, catching his enemies off guard, and disrupting their supply lines. This approach allowed him to outmaneuver his opponents and create opportunities for decisive victories. One of the most famous examples of Gustavus Adolphus's military genius was the Battle of Breitenfeld, fought on September 7, 1631. In this battle, Gustavus Adolphus's army of approximately 23,000 soldiers faced off against a much larger Catholic force of around 35,000 troops. Despite being outnumbered, Gustavus Adolphus used his clever tactics and mobility to outflank the enemy, ultimately securing a crushing victory that would become a turning point in the 30 Years' War. Gustavus Adolphus's military achievements were not limited to his victories on the battlefield. He was also a skilled diplomat and strategist who understood the importance of building alliances and negotiating with his enemies. Throughout his campaigns, he worked tirelessly to forge coalitions with other Protestant states, securing vital support and resources that helped him maintain his armies in the field. As we explore Gustavus Adolphus's remarkable achievements on the battlefield, it becomes clear that he was a true master of his craft. His innovative tactics, clever use of terrain, and integrated combined arms teams allowed him to outmaneuver and defeat his enemies time and again. But Gustavus Adolphus's legacy extends far beyond his military victories. He also left an indelible mark on the development of modern warfare, influencing generations of military leaders to come. His leadership and vision changed the course of history, shaping the fate of nations and empires for centuries to come. As we discussed earlier, Gustavus Adolphus had achieved a series of stunning victories during the 30 Years' War, using his clever tactics and mobility to outmaneuver and defeat his enemies time and again. However, Gustavus Adolphus's success on the battlefield came at a great personal cost. He was known for his bravery and willingness to lead by example, often exposing himself to danger in order to inspire his troops. This approach ultimately led to his downfall, as he was fatally wounded during the Battle of Lutzen on November 16, 1632. The Battle of Lutzen was a brutal and intense conflict, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Gustavus Adolphus's army had been marching through the foggy and muddy terrain of Saxony, seeking to confront the Catholic forces of Albrecht von Wallenstein. As the battle raged on, Gustavus Adolphus became separated from his troops and was struck by a bullet, possibly fired by a Scottish mercenary fighting for the Catholics. Gustavus Adolphus's death sent shockwaves throughout Europe, as he was widely regarded as one of the greatest military leaders of his time. His legacy extended far beyond his military victories, as he had also played a crucial role in shaping the course of European history. The 30 Years' War would eventually come to an end with the Treaty of Westphalia in 1648, which established the principle of sovereignty and recognized the independence of Protestant states. Despite his tragic death, Gustavus Adolphus's impact on modern warfare continued to be felt for centuries to come. His innovative tactics and strategies, including the use of combined arms teams and rapid mobilization, would influence generations of military leaders, from Napoleon Bonaparte to Karl von Clausewitz. Today, Gustavus Adolphus is remembered as a hero in Sweden, where he is celebrated as the Lion of the North and a champion of Protestantism. His legacy extends far beyond his native country, however, as he remains one of the most studied and admired military leaders in history. His bravery, strategic genius, and leadership inspired generations of military leaders, shaping the course of warfare and diplomacy for centuries to come. As the Swedish historian and philosopher Erik Lönnroth once said, Gustavus Adolphus was a man who changed the course of history not just by his victories, but by his ideas and his personality. Indeed, Gustavus Adolphus's legacy continues to inspire and influence us to this day, serving as a reminder of the power of leadership, strategic thinking, and courage in the face of adversity. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.